In the late 1980s, deserted highways cut through the interior of Florida like scars on the land. Lonely gas stations illuminated the asphalt as solitary drivers followed their routes, never imagining that, for some of them, that journey would end in blood. The nightlife hid secrets. In rundown bars and cheap motels, meetings were arranged without anyone asking names. Men appeared, filled with desire or desperation, and left believing they were in control of the game. But not all of them made it home. Fear began to grow when bodies started appearing, abandoned like trash by the roadside. The police had no leads. Who was behind the murders? What connected these victims? Nothing made sense, until a name began circulating in the corridors of the investigation. This is a case of desire, deception, and death. The story of a woman who lived on the fringes of society and turned her pain into violence. Aileen Wuornos wasn't born a killer, but from an early age, life pushed her into dark places. Raised amid abuse and abandonment, she never knew what safety felt like. As a child, she learned that no one would come to save her. As a teenager, she discovered that her body was the only currency she had. The streets of Florida swallowed her early on. In exchange for a few crumpled bills, she learned to fake smiles and swallow her own hatred. But between one client and another, something began to change inside her. She was no longer a defenseless girl. And when the first shot was fired, there was no turning back. At the end of 1989, a man named Richard Mallory pulled his car over to the side of the road and signaled to her. He was just another one, or at least he seemed to be. The encounter started like all the others, a cheap motel, a silent transaction. But that night, something went out of control. Minutes later, Mallory was dead. The shot that echoed in the room sealed his fate and Aileen's. But was it an accident, self-defense, or the first step in something bigger? The bodies started to appear. Men of different ages and professions, but always the same pattern. Disheveled clothes, abandoned cars, precise gunshots. The police began to connect the dots, but the truth was more disturbing than they could imagine. While newspapers warned of a possible serial killer, Aileen kept wandering the highways, always looking for the next client. But now, she was no longer just a prostitute struggling to survive. She had become a dark legend. The noose tightened when she made a mistake. She used one of the stolen cars to drive around town. Security footage, witnesses, clues left behind. Everything led straight to her. The arrest came in 1991. The trial was swift. Aileen insisted she killed in self-defense, but the jury didn't hesitate. 6 convictions. Death sentence. On the morning of October 9, 2002, the execution took place. But even with her end, Aileen Wuornos' story continues to divide opinions. Was she a monster who seduced and killed? Or a woman destroyed by life, who found in violence her only form of revenge? This was the tragic story of Aileen Carol Pittman, known simply as Aileen Wuornos. If you enjoy content like this, leave a like and subscribe to this channel to receive new videos daily. See you soon.